जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी परम सभा चुकाचार्य अष्टोदश श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति रमन स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय विश्वपाद परम सभा चुकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत श्री ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन के वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय कलिग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled all glories to assembled all glories to assembled all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtapraeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Fountain. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, Chapter 9, text number 36. Etavat eva jidnyasam tattva jidnyasunatmanaha अन्वया व्यतिरेकाभ्याम यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा एतावत् एव जिज्ञास्यम् तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मना अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा एतावत् एव जिज्ञास्याम् तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मना अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्याम् यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा
एतावदेव जिज्ञासम् तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मना अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्याम् यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा एतावदेव जिज्ञासम्
Mataji.
एतावदेव जिज्ञासम् तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मना अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्याम् यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा.
Word by word meaning. Etavad, up to this. Eva, certainly. Jidnyasyam, it is to be inquired. Tattva, the absolute truth. Jidnyasuna, by the student. Atmana, of the self. Anvaya, directly. Vyatirekabhyam, indirectly. Yat, whatever. Syat, it may be. Sarvatra, in all space and time. Sarvada, in all circumstances. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: a person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, most certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. I read from the purport where I have been asked to read. The lowest of human beings can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional life if they are trained by the bona fide spiritual master, well versed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. If the lowest can be so elevated, then what to speak of the highest, who are well versed in the Vedic knowledge? The conclusion is that devotional service to the Lord is open for all, regardless of who they are. That is a confirmation of its application for all kinds of performers of this service. Therefore, the devotional service of the Lord with perfect knowledge through the training of a bona fide spiritual master is advice for everyone, even if one happens not to be a human being. This is confirmed in the Garud Purana as follows. Kita pakshi mruganam cha harau sanyasta chetasam urdhvam eva gatim manne kim punar jnaninam nrunam. Even the worms, birds, and beasts are assured of elevation to the highest perfectional life if they are completely surrendered to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, what to speak of the philosophers amongst the human beings? Therefore, there is no need to seek properly qualified candidates for discharging devotional service to the Lord. Let them be either well behaved or ill trained. Let them be either learned or fools. Let them be either grossly attached or in the renounced order of life. Let them be liberated souls or desirous of salvation. Let them be inexpert in the discharge of devotional service or expert in the same. All of them can be elevated to the supreme position by discharging devotional service under the proper guidance. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.30-32 as follows. Apichet sudracharo bhajate mam ananya bhav sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hisaha mam hi partha vyapashitya yepi syu papayone striyo vaishyas tata shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Even if a person is fully addicted to all sorts of sinful acts, if he happens to be engaged in the loving transcendental service of the Lord under proper guidance, he is to be considered the most perfect holy man without a doubt. And thus, any person, whatsoever and whoever he or she may be, even the fallen woman, the less intelligent laborer, the dull mercantile man, or even a man lower than all these, can attain the highest perfection of life by going back home, back to Godhead, provided he or she takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in all earnestness. This sincere earnestness is the only qualification that can lead one to the highest perfectional stage of life. And unless and until such real earnestness is aroused, there is a difference between cleanliness or uncleanliness, learning or non-learning in the material estimation. Fire is always fire, and thus if someone touches the fire knowingly or unknowingly, the fire will act in its own way without discrimination. The principle is Harir Harati Papani Dushta Chitter Api Smrita. The all-powerful Lord can purify the devotee of all sinful reactions, just as the sun can sterilize all sorts of infections by its powerful rays. Attraction for material enjoyment cannot act upon a pure devotee of the Lord. There are hundreds and thousands of aphorisms in the revealed scriptures. Atma Ramascha Munaya. Even the self-realized souls are also attracted by the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Kechit Kevalaya Bhaktya Vasudeva Parayanaha. Simply by hearing and chanting, one becomes a great devotee of Lord Vasudeva. न चलति भगवत पदारविंद लव निमिषार्धम अपि च Vaishnavārgya. A person who does not move from the lotus feet of the Lord, even for a moment or a second, is to be considered the greatest of all Vaishnavas. Bhagavad Parshadatam Prapte Mat Sevaya Patinam Thi. The pure devotees are convinced of attaining the association of the personality of Godhead, and thus they are always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, in all continents, in all planets, in all universes, devotional service to the Lord or Bhakti Yoga is current. And that is the statement of the Srimad Bhagavatam and allied scriptures. Everywhere means in every part of the creation of the Lord. The Lord can be served by all the senses or even simply by the mind. The South Indian Brahmana who served the Lord simply on the strength of his mind also factually realized the Lord. Success is guaranteed for a devotee who fully engages any one of his senses in the mode of devotional service. The Lord can be served by any ingredient, even the most common commodity, a flower, a leaf, a fruit, or a little water, which are available in any part of the universe and without cost. And thus the Lord is served universally by the universal entities. He can be served simply by hearing. He can be served simply by chanting or reading about his activities. He can be served simply by adoring him and accepting him. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namene. Namaste Saraswati Devi Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Ashatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. I think this Chatushloki Bhagavatam seems to be quite powerful. Even the demigods want to attend such kind of lectures. Is everyone able to hear? Is it audible behind? Is it audible behind? Or not audible? Audible? Okay. So, Chatushloki Bhagavatam to Chaturmukhi Brahma. Brahma, who is the original living entity, and this entire universe. We can imagine the position of Brahma. He was directly born from the navel of Garbhodak Shailish. There was no father and mother for him. The Supreme Lord was the only father and mother for him. He was the first born living entity in the entire universe. And he was alone. He didn't know what is his origin, where he has come from, and what is the goal of life, what he is supposed to do. He was totally bewildered and confused. He tried to search his origin. He searched up and down. He went to the bottom planets, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Patal. He went up. He tried to find out what is the source, but he could not find. His desire to understand the Supreme Absolute Truth was extremely powerful and strong. He went through that tremendous mental turmoil, not knowing what is his origin. And when the Supreme Lord saw that Brahma is really seeking that knowledge, is trying to understand who am I, what he's supposed to do, what is his duty. Then the Supreme Lord spoke something which he could hear. It is said that by the mercy of Krishna one gets Guru, and by the mercy of Guru one gets Krishna. When a living entity has that sincere desire, he wants to understand what is the goal of life, then that desire is detected by the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord can understand all our desires. He will not fulfill all of our desires personally. But especially when the Supreme Lord detects that this particular living entity, Jiva, is now curious, he is jidnyasu, he is trying to understand the absolute truth, his own original position. then the Supreme Lord will guide him to a bona fide spiritual master. We must know this transcendental reciprocation by the Supreme Lord to those living entities, those who are seeking that knowledge, those who are trying to understand. And here Brahma was the only one person in the entire universe. And he had a big service ahead, a big project in front of him. And he was confused. So when the Supreme Lord, he understood that now is the time to guide him, to give him the direction, Supreme Lord uttered the words, 2 syllables, ta, pa. Ta, pa. Twice he uttered. And Brahma could hear. Brahma understood that somebody is speaking. Somebody is telling me to perform tapasya. He could not understand who is speaking because there was only voice. Just sound vibration. He could hear. But of course we know that behind the sound vibration there is a person. Sound vibration just cannot exist like that. We can analyze in this material world that somebody is speaking on the phone, we cannot see, but we know that there is a person. Somebody is speaking on so many newspapers or social media, they're writing, speaking. So behind that there is some person who has those sound vibration to be communicated to others. So similarly, at the higher level, there is a higher beings. There are higher beings. There is a Supreme God who also can speak. They also can speak. They're always speaking. They're always telling us to come back. But unfortunately, we are not able to hear those sound vibrations. Because our mind is occupied with so many other sound vibrations that we cannot hear what God is speaking to us. That is an unfortunate condition of ours. Supreme Lord can hear all of us. What we are speaking, He can hear. But we cannot hear Supreme Lord's voice. In Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says, Sarvata Pani Padam Tat Sarvata Akshisharo Mukham Sarvata Shruti Malloke. Sarvata Shruti Malloke, that means He can hear from anywhere. So when we are offering our prayers, those prayers are reaching to the Supreme Lord. We must have that faith. When we have those sincere desire of serving the Supreme Lord will reciprocate with us. And here Brahma, when he had sincere inquiries, when he wanted to understand the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord, He guided him. He asked him to perform tapasya. And what is that tapasya? Tapasya, we may think that doing some bodily exercises, physical exercises, or torturing the body, not eating, not sleeping, abstaining from various pleasures of this material world. Is that the tapasya? Is that really going to please the Supreme Lord? What makes the difference when the devotee is performing tapasya and a non-devotee or a asura performing a tapas? If we compare our tapasya with tapasyas performed by so many asuras of the bygone age, we'll think that our tapasya is insignificant. Hiranyakashipu performed tapasya. Ravana performed tapasya. So many asuras, they perform tapasyas. But what is the consciousness behind performing those tapasyas? It all that matters. If you are performing tapasya to get some material acquisitions, material power, wealth, we may do lot of regulated activities just to get that, very, very disciplined way. But what is the motive ultimately? Our motive is material desires. Then those material desires will be fulfilled. Lord will supply all those material desires. Somebody wants to achieve knowledge, lot of knowledge, so that he can influence people. He can become more famous, knowledgeable, everyone respects him. If that is a desire, that is our consciousness, then we will achieve that. If our consciousness is to achieve some mystic siddhis, some kind of mystic powers, which many yogis desire, that becoming lighter than the light, becoming heavier than the heavy, or something they can create something and produce in front of everyone and see what I have done, what I have got. So those kind of siddhis also one may get by performing so many regulated activities. But that is not the ultimate purpose of tapasya. Bhukti kami, mukti kami, siddhi kami, sakale ashanta. Krishna bhakta nishkama ata eva shanta. Krishna bhakta, devotee of Krishna, he does not desire anything material. These other things he may get as a byproduct. In between bhakti, he may get all those things. But if he gets distracted by those things, then he will not achieve the real pure platform of bhakti. He may run after wealth, he may run after fame, position, power, so many distractions. So the pure devotional service is a different level. So here Brahmaji, he performed tapasya, he interpreted the meaning of the words, tapa, in a proper way. He understood that I have to perform tapasya to please the Supreme Lord. So that was the first right thing he did. The interpretation of the instructions. I have been told to do tapasya. Tapasya is ultimately meant for the Supreme Lord. I have to please the Supreme Lord. Aradito yadi hari tapasya tatake. Na aradito yadi hari tapasya tatake. If one is able to please the Supreme Lord by his tapasya, that is the ultimate purpose he is achieving. Then what is the use of tapasya? He is able to please the Supreme Lord. Na aradito yadi hari tapasya tatake. If he is not able to please the Supreme Lord, then what is the use of performing that tapasya? Antar bahir yadi hari tapasya tatake. Na antar bahir yadi hari tapasya tatake. If one is able to see the Supreme Lord at all times, inside, outside, then what is the use of performing tapasya? And if one is not able to see the Supreme Lord inside and outside, then what is the use of performing tapasya? So therefore, tapasya has to be performed to please the Supreme Lord. Ultimately, that is a real purpose of performing tapasya. And here, Brahma was in that proper consciousness. And the Supreme Lord was pleased by that tapasya. And he revealed himself. As we had read in the previous verses, that Brahmaji got darshan of the Supreme Lord, Lord of Vaikuntha. Supreme Lord came in front of him. How is it possible? Supreme Lord is revealing to a living entity. He could see the Vaikuntha Loka. Supreme Lord came in front of him, shook hands with him. Can you imagine? Supreme Lord is shaking hands with Brahmaji. And Supreme Lord, Lord of Vaikuntha, he revealed the mystery. He told that I was the one who asked you to perform tapasya. So he connected. He didn't keep him in darkness. Supreme Lord was directly Guru for him and the Supreme Lord also for Brahma. It's a very unique position of Brahmaji. So he cleared that doubt. He might be thinking that who was that person who asked me to perform tapasya? So the Supreme Lord is telling, I am the one. I told you to perform tapasya. I am very pleased with your tapasya. And now here is the service. You did everything, you please me. So when somebody pleases Guru, Guru will give you service. He will tell you, do some service. That is a perfection. And by serving the spiritual master, it's not an ordinary service. One will achieve the highest perfection. Service could be very simple also. But if somebody performs that service with great faith, then that disciple, that soul will get elevated. And here Brahma, he was given the service of creation, creating various living entities, 84 lakh species, taking that kind of very difficult service, because there will be so many people around, so many challenges of handling. He was ready for that. And the Supreme Lord, he gave him that service. And he was smiling. He slightly was smiling. He understood that Brahmaji is now getting ready for various things. He has seen my Aishwarya form, my opulent form he has seen. And in future, when I come as Krishna, that time he is going to get bewildered. That time he will have some difficulty trying to understand me. And at that time, I'll have to guide him in a different way. So Brahmaji was considered to be Gunavatar. Gunas, 3 gunas in this material world: Sattva guna, Rajas guna, Tamas guna. Brahmaji is given in charge of Rajas guna, passion. In the passion, somebody is in the passion, he wants to create a lot of things. My own creation. किसने बनाया? मैंने बनाया. Project, temple, services, departments. किसने किया? I did. So much we get identified with that small service, project, department and temples sometimes, zonal or whatever. So that identification is very strong when one gets involved. In the beginning, one thinks that, no, I will not get involved, I will remain detached and all that. But as more gets one absorbed, one start thinking that I am the doer, I am the creator. Just see, because of this thing, everything is running because of me. Right? This is the power of material energy. It influences each and every one of us. And in today's time also we can see that how Brahmaji created 84 lakh species. Before Brahmaji there was no duality. There was no duality of man and woman. Brahmaji is self-born. He was born directly from the Supreme Lord. But Brahmaji had to create that duality in this material world. And through that then the next creation happens. And each and every person has been given some natural intelligence. Some natural intelligence is given. Every person has some hidden talent. That has to be identified. That has to be utilized in the right direction. But today what is happening? Today we do not want natural intelligence. Somebody utilizes natural intelligence, we don't want that. We tell person, just follow what I am saying. We are training, everyone is trained to become like a robot. Yes, ma'am, or just follow. I tell you to do this thing, you just do it. Don't ask questions. Somebody has some queries, no questions, I just do it. So natural intelligence is not used from the human beings. And machines are given artificial intelligence. Machine should work like an exactly human being. They should smile, they should greet me, they should do whatever I just desire it. Right? This is the irony of today's age. Human beings are trained to become like robots and machines are given artificial intelligence. because they don't ask for payment. Human beings ask for payment. I did so much work, give me some payment. But of course, some other cyber laws are coming that if you use robots, then you'll have to pay some taxes and all. That's other part of it. So, Brahmaji created all these various living entities, and if you observe in the entire creation, even the small insect has intelligence, right? He understands where is the blood. He goes exactly, he will sit in a proper direction, and he has a small kind of needle design which exactly pricks in a particular direction. One doesn't realize that blood is taken out of his body. So that small mosquito also has intelligence. Small ants have intelligence. They can understand where is a food. We cannot smell, but that small insects can smell. They have powerful sense of smell. Some living entities can hear, some can see what we cannot do that. And we think that we are very advanced. So, in nature there is a lot of intelligence, and Brahmaji is the secondary creator. He has created all this. So you can imagine what kind of intelligence he has. That he created everyone. And what was the mood of Brahmaji? He was telling the Supreme Lord, when the Supreme Lord was in front of him, he was telling that, I am praying to you that I don't become proud. Because once I get involved in the kind of creation, I will start thinking that I am the creator. And because of me, everything is happening. So just give me mercy that I don't become proud of all these various things I'm working on it. So Brahmaji, he gets that kind of audience of the Supreme Lord. And then afterwards, Supreme Lord vanishes from his sin. Now, somebody may believe or may not believe such kind of things. That how it is possible that Brahmaji, what kind of experience he had? How can we believe in Brahmaji's experience? Brahmaji had some kind of out-of-body experience. If somebody is more scientific, then there is a term called as out-of-body experience, right? Or near-death experience. That means a person, he is in the body, but he goes out of body for some time. He goes into another space, another world. He experiences something and again comes back because his time is not yet over. And there are many case studies. Many people have experienced such things. And one of that is one person, he experienced such kind of thing where he mentions that he was chanting or meditating, praying to the Supreme Lord. He was praying, not exactly Supreme Lord, but he was praying. And somehow that he went into another consciousness. He went into another world. And he saw that there are different heavenly gardens. There are heavenly music is there. There are different beings there. And one appears to be very, very effulgent, from whom all the light was emanating, effulgence was emanating. And he says that he appeared to be a creator. It is not exactly that he saw God or something, but he said that it appeared. So God cannot be seen easily. When God reveals himself, then only one can see God. So he saw various people there, and afterwards again he came back. So this is one case study, and there are many other stories that people have experienced a lot of things. So we, even in today's scientific world, we have to believe in such things. We say that yes, this person is experienced, so I believe. It cannot be false. It has been proven. Or many times there are stories of reincarnations and all. They have been proven cases. So that means there is something beyond our body which has a different level of understanding or consciousness. And that person is not limited by matter. Matter cannot limit the soul. Soul is conditioned in this body. Therefore, we are suffering or we are experiencing these various types of miseries. But when the soul becomes free from this material body, one gets liberated, then there is no suffering. And especially when one practices devotional service, then one will be taken to that space where one can practice devotional service. So Brahmaji, he had that kind of experience of Vaikuntha Loka. He saw that Vaikuntha beings and Supreme Lord, got the audience of the Lord, but again he had to come back to resume his services. Brahmaji has been instrumental in various ways. We know that we are soon going to celebrate Sri Krishna Janmashtami, most awaited event of the year. Krishna's birth. Krishna takes birth in this earth planet. And Krishna takes birth in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam also. So when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, it is appearance of Lord Krishna. And devotees, they speak about Krishna's birth. It is not different from Krishna Janmashtami. We must understand. Because Krishna manifests through sound vibration. Here the verse is Sarvatra Sarvada. That bhakti can be performed at any time, any place, by anyone. Srila Prabhupada has been in this purport, especially when we see that how he has been writing these wonderful words and giving examples, quoting from various scriptures, the importance of devotional service. And how devotional service is not limited. It is not only few people can perform. Here it is explained, Prabhupada has very nicely some very nice verse Prabhupada quotes from Garud Purana. Kita Pakshi Mruganam. Kita means worms. Pakshi, birds. Mrugana, beast, are assured of elevation to the higher perfectional life if they are completely surrendered to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Now one may think that how a small insect may perform bhakti, right? Pakshi, birds or Mrugana, animals can perform bhakti. But must understand from the scriptures that this is possible. If that small insect gets some other small morsel of Mahaprasad, that bhakti has begun. His devotional service has begun. Or sometimes we have birds coming to our garden. Many birds are coming and sometimes they get prasad. Some of our devotees make sure that they get prasad. So they are getting benefited. Animals, we can see Gajendra, he perform devotional service even in that body. There is one devotee who has written Animals in Krishna Consciousness, some kind of different book, not available, but there is a book called Animals in Krishna Consciousness. He has observed that there are various species, those who are actually performing bhakti, even in their having a different body, not human body. Birds or cats, dogs, elephants, kind of things. It's a different subject. So Brahmaji, he experienced the Supreme Lord in his Aishwarya Bhav. He saw Krishna or the Supreme Lord in his majestic form of Vaikuntha Loka. He had not experienced Krishna in his Madhurya form. And Krishna knew that there is something he doesn't know about me. And at the right time, Krishna knew how to bewilder Brahma. He knew that Brahmaji is now having a doubt in his mind. He is thinking that how this small child can be a supreme personality of God. He is playing like a coward boy, going to various places, stealing the butter. He's stealing the tiffins of other boys, eating that. This doesn't seem to be God. So Krishna knew that he is now coming at a different level. He is advancing. Brahmaji's journey is different. So Krishna allowed that doubt to dwell in his mind. And then he made him steal his cows, coward friends, for a moment. For one moment he could do that, but it didn't happen because Krishna manifested immediately, expanded himself into that, and Brahma was bewildered. Oh, what has happened? And later Brahmaji regrets. He thinks that what I have done, I separated Krishna's friends from Krishna. I have done a very big offense. I should not have done that. So he went to Navadvip, Antardvip. He performed tapasya there. He was so repentful. He really repentful, and he performed tapasya. Again the Supreme Lord appeared to him as Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. At that place of Antardvip, Lord Gauranga, he appeared. He told that in future I am going to come. Future I will come, I will take the mood, complexion of Srimati Radharani, and I will distribute this love of God, Krishna Prem, which was not available earlier, to everyone, Audarya mood. And you will come as Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. Brahma, same Brahma. He went through, first he saw Lord as a Vaikuntha Loka. Then he saw Lord Krishna playing with the coward friends. Then he saw Lord Krishna as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And he understood that I have to just chant. Chanting is the essence. Hare Naam, Hare Naam, Hare Naam hai kevalam, kalor nasteva gatirannatha. And Kali Yuga, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Simply by chanting, one can achieve the highest perfection of life. And we can see that how Srila Prabhupada, he made that prophecy come true. He made the holy name go to every town and village. Prithivete yatha nagradi gram sarvatra prachara hoibe morana. So that chanting, which can be done by anyone, which can be done at any place, which there is no discrimination. In the night you can do, in the morning you can do, at any place you can do. So that chanting, that power of devotional service was given by Srila Prabhupada to all of us. So we can understand that how Srila Prabhupada has perfectly given the essence of Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Sanatan Dharma, to all of us in this Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna. So I have already gone over time. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.